So how far back? Because I could lie like this, but I feel like that's too casual.
No, I want you to be casual. I want you to chill the fuck out.
I'm feeling good.
It's recording, by the way.
Yeah.
Who do an intro?
Yeah, here. Something like that. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new chapter of the Kiwi Lads. We have got our Kiwi Lads podcast where we talk rugby, sport, and all sorts. I've got myself. We have got George here as well. Hope you guys are all doing well today. On a Monday, we're filming this, but it's probably coming out on whatever George decides.
Does whatever I want to do outside of what we're doing right now, you know what I mean? Wagwan. I've been going around all weekend saying, Wagwan!
This is your baby, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, better not drop it, eh? Because it might not turn out so well.
No. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so we're like, gaming's great. You're good fun doing the games, but you guys don't want to watch them. Well, you do, but you don't. So we're like, I've been thinking, so I'm on the back of a yam harvester, and I listen to podcasts all day. And Joe Rogan, who is an idol at this stage in my life, comes out and says, "Oh, it's the future." I'm like, oh. So I'm on the back of this yam harvester and I'm thinking, and then when I start thinking.
When he starts thinking, I get messages.
I have ideas. I have ideas at 11 o'clock at night, and then Hamish is like, "Oh, what are they? the 10th time." No. Yeah. So I was like, I'm keen to start a podcast, and I was playing around with it. Thinking about it for a while, and I was like, nah, I won't do it. And then I was like, no, I'm just going to do it. So I messaged Hamish, was like, I have an idea. And so I was like, no, I'm going to start a podcast, and it's pretty much where me and Hamish are going to sit here. We're going to basically talk about probably mainly rugby, but as well as that, if you guys want to know what the hell we get up to out of the Hamish's live streams, out of the podcast, we'll talk about that sort of stuff on the podcast as well. Even though Hamish talks a lot about it on the live streams, but then, yeah.
This is kind of the behind the scenes. What's happening. You
can get an insight into the crazy stuff I do as a young fella. You know?
It's like your piss up in Queenstown, eh?
Yeah. We'll talk about that at the end.
This is about... It's fourth on the bloody order, like, you're going to switch it around.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about rugby first.
Yeah, we've got
the
quarterfinals, Super Rugby.
It's been a large weekend of rugby here in New Zealand. Big Super Rugby finals. We had the quarterfinals on the weekend. Crusaders won.
Of course, yep.
But it was interesting. I didn't actually watch the games because on Friday night I was at home and my parents went home, so my brother was on watching TV and he had the Netflix going. So I couldn't.
What was he watching?
I was probably just some love story.
Really?
No.
I was going to say, I feel like your brother's more of a watching a murder documentary.
I think it might have been... Top Gun's not out yet, is it?
Oh, maybe not on Netflix.
Oh, he might have had a VPN or something going.
Ah, he's watching a bit of Top Gun.
Yeah, I think he might. I don't know if it was Top Gun or if it was just... He had it connected to YouTube and he might have been trying to find something on YouTube on the TV. But anyway, he was on Netflix. And I couldn't watch the game on Friday night, which was the Crusaders versus Reds. And who else?
Yeah, Crusaders
that was it.
Reds,
See, so because I didn't watch it, Hamish is going to be correcting me on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So the Crusaders versus the Reds on Friday, and then on Saturday it was the Highlanders versus the Blues, and the Brumbies versus the Chiefs. No. Who did they... Hurricanes.
And also... game prior to that, Chiefs versus Waratahs.
Yeah, that's the one. It's just too much happening, isn't it?
I like the fact that you were like on Friday night, I wish I could watch the rugby, yet I don't have anywhere that I could watch it. Whereas you know that I stream every single game.
Okay, well, you don't show the game.
You see it, you're next to me.
Yeah, no, I have to be watching the game, and then I could have hit it into yours. Yeah. But I was way not keen because I was tired, and I also had some farming simulator play at some Saturday evening. So
that's like your
priorities,
thing.
Man.
Sometimes I'll message George in the evening and be like, "You want to do something?" And he's like, "Oh, I got corn to harvest."
Maize.
Sorry,
maize. Like 17 biogas plants going on. I'm just feeding all these fucking things, man. I am the equivalent to a Pablo Escobar on Farming Simulator.
Okay.
By what I mean is, like, I'm big. I'm a big player.
Oh, I know you're big, yeah.
I harvest anything and everything. Did you just call me fat?
No, it's just, you're a big timer.
Yeah, so I didn't watch, and then obviously on Saturday night I was in Queenstown, and by what time was the game? 6 o'clock?
No. One of them was.
7:30? 7:30?
Yeah, all these times that WIN Rugby was taking place.
I would have been at a restaurant having tea or something. So I didn't watch all the games, but I did see posts on Facebook scores. I can't remember the scores. Well, no, but the Highlanders got smashed.
They did, yeah.
So that was something I was keen to talk to you about. Do they even deserve to be in that quarterfinal?
I mean, it's a tricky one because, like, as an 8th place team, you'd say they didn't have a huge amount of points.
No. But, like,
it is a tricky one because you'd say that as the 8th place team, how they only had, like, 4 wins throughout the season, that maybe they didn't quite deserve it, as you said. But then you look at someone like, I think it was the Reds, who had about 8 wins of the season, and they finished 7th.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those ones how you can't have 7 teams through, but you can't have...
So what's the go there? Is it just bonus points?
Yeah, they've got quite a few, but they were actually about 10 points less than the Reds.
Yeah.
And they only snuck through due to the Western Force. We watched that game together, didn't we?
Yeah, and I was keen to talk to you about that because Matt Tamura kicked the ball out, which then denied the Western Force a game in the finals. Was there a backlash for that?
I don't think he got much of it because everyone could see how visibly disappointed he was.
So you're saying the coach probably got a text from the Western Force going, "Hey, bud, cheers for that one, eh? Cheers for that one."
But he just didn't want to do it, did he?
No, he just kicked the ball out. Yeah, no. So how many wins in the season did the Western Force get?
I think they had about the same as the Highlanders, but they had 1 less bonus point.
It's insane to think that you only necessarily maybe need 4 wins to get into the finals. That means the Melbourne Rebels are extremely shit. Well, how many teams don't make the finals?
4.
So that's the Melbourne Rebels, the 2 Islanders.
Yeah, and Western Force.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we watched that game when they took on the Melbourne Rebels. And they played like dog shit. This
is the Highlanders.
The Highlanders. The Highlanders took on the Melbourne Rebels, and we both said they played so badly. But we both said, do they deserve to be in the final? And I kind of feel like, what's the point of sending into a quarterfinal against the Blues who then lose 40 points to 17? 17? What was their score?
35-6.
Oh, 6? Fucking
yeah, they didn't score a try.
Jesus Christ.
They were 6-0 up.
I thought it was 17 or something. I was probably drunk when I looked at it.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, good work. Hey, you want some chicken? Yeah, so I was sort of thinking, because I was actually like, is this the sort of thing where the Highlanders come out and they do really well? You know what I mean? They stand up to the occasion and they actually win. Because there's plenty of times when you see that happen in sports in general, like when England took on the Springboks in the World Cup final, everyone was like, nah, no chance. Because England had been so good, beaten the All Blacks, and South Africa had lost to the All Blacks, and then in the World Cup final, South Africa came out and played. Yeah. But it's the same with a lot of other ones, like when the Wallabies took on the Springboks, everyone said they'll get absolutely smashed by the Springboks. And then they won 2 games back-to-back against the Springboks. So I was thinking, no, they're going to do it. They're going to at least get close to winning, or they're going to win. And then I was thinking, if they do lose badly, it sort of shows that they shouldn't have been in the finals. Because they just weren't there, you know?
Yeah.
They just didn't stand a chance. And that's why I was like, that's not good for the sport. And it was also interesting because I was listening to a Bill Burr podcast when I was on the Yam Harvester. And he was talking about how he's a Boston Celtics fan in the NBA. And he was like, I wonder if the refs who make these absolutely outrageous calls at times, he was saying about how do they adjust stuff so that a certain team wins, so that then a certain team plays against a certain team. So that was what was leading up to the quarterfinals. So the Highlanders lost to the Melbourne Rebels. They played like shit. They dropped the ball 17 times. They couldn't win anything. They got penalties against them. They were shit. And I was like, well, if they go into this game against the Blues, they lose badly. It's just shit for the sport. So, and then we started talking about Bill Burr and how he thinks with the NBA, they change things around so a certain team will take on a certain team. Do you think that happens in the NRL? In the NRL?
I mean, the reffing in the NRL is a bit questionable at times.
Fucking bad. But it's also the same for... Do they need to do it in Super Rugby? No, but like you got to wonder that sometimes, don't you? Where a ref makes a call and you go, I'm sitting here on my couch in my house, and even I know what the decision is, but you can't figure it out there at the ground with 15 TVs on a wall for your TMO. I often wonder this. I often wonder if the NRL, who makes more money off games that are really good for advertisers, do they try and strategically say, well, if this team takes on this team, you know, that's a money game. You know, that's the one we want. So how do we make sure that this team and this team don't go through? You know?
I mean, that just sounds like every Warriors fan ever.
Yeah, but
The Warriors,
do you blame them?
Then you see the referee, and you're like, maybe there is something there.
I thought the same thing. I watched one of their games, not one of them. I watched a compilation on YouTube of the amount of bad ref calls in the NRL. And there was 17 clips, and 12 of those clips were for the Warriors. It was so bad. But I thought the same thing. Oh, I'd just be Warriors fans making excuses. No.
No, there is something blind.
Yeah, so with a Warriors vs Dragons game, and this YouTube video where they gave a compilation of all the times the Dragons player knocked the ball on over the try line, and they gave him a try. And then the Warriors obviously went on to lose that. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't understand it. I was like, how has he not seen this? You know? So the quarterfinals have gone in Super Rugby.
Yeah.
So what was your opinion of it?
I think the only game that slightly, for me, was going to be a tough one was that Brumbies-Hurricanes game.
Yeah.
For me, Chiefs were beating the Waratahs, Blues were beating the Highlanders, and also Crusaders were beating the Reds. Although the Reds fought decently at times throughout that one.
When I found out that they were going to play the Reds again, I thought this won't be easy. You know how it is when you play the same team twice in a row?
Yeah.
They're always so evenly matched in the second one. And I was like, I wouldn't be so sure of a certain win here, Crusaders, because this isn't... You're not going to learn a lot about you after that first game.
Brad Thorne, he came to play.
Yeah.
You like him, don't you?
Yeah, I really like Brad Thorne. I really like how the Reds are trying to become better, you know?
It does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like just different way. Yeah. So the Hurricanes vs Brumbies. So I didn't watch it, obviously. What did you think? Because they're the only New Zealand side to lose.
Yeah.
So what's your what happened there? Were the Brumbies just too good? Because the Hurricanes haven't been that bad, have they?
No, they just didn't seem to find their stride because it was the case of the Hurricanes coming off a loss against the Western Force.
Yeah.
Against the Brumbies, who were coming off a loss against Moana Pacifica.
Yeah.
So it was going to be that one of who learnt the most from their loss. And GIO Stadium's tough to beat the Brumbies anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hurricanes just not quite good enough on the day.
No. It was because the Brumbies have had good luck against the New Zealand sides, haven't they? Did they take out Highlanders?
Yeah, well, most
Chiefs? They had that run.
They beat the Chiefs by 10.
They had that run 3 games in a row, wasn't it? And everyone was saying, here they come for the Crusaders, and they lost against the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Then they had that game against the Moana Pacifica, didn't they?
Yeah, which they did end up losing. But
yeah.
I think that was the upset of the whole competition, to be honest.
Yeah, because everyone was saying they'll easily beat them. But then everyone was saying, the Crusaders will lose as well. But then the Crusaders came out and beat them. So, leaving the not leaving the quarters, but looking back on the quarters, who do you think are the favourite going in the semi-final?
For me, it's probably...
It's a hard one.
It is.
Because I've often thought about this. Like, you've got the Blues beating the Highlanders 40 points to 6. You've got the Crusaders... What was the score of the Crusaders Reds?
Something.
You can't remember? It's not easy to remember.
And I was close, and then the Crusaders did a Crusaders
I remember
thing
checking
for the
at
last
half
20.
time. And on your live stream.
Yeah, did you?
It was on your live stream I checked in.
When can you find that, George?
You can check out Hamish's live stream on Pornhub. No, me and Daniel were sitting in the hotel room commenting. Daniel never commented.
You were telling me was it me and Isaac that Daniel said show the game?
Yeah. Daniel was sitting on the side of the bed. He was going, Does he not show the game? I was like, no, he just talks about it. He
Does
goes,
Daniel not never followed the chat? Daniel.
Daniel just goes, what the fuck? I want to see the game. Why would I watch this shit? He throws his phone on the floor and he went and took a shit. But I was like, no, he just talks about the game. If you want to know what's happening, you put it in the chat there and there. You just say, hey, this is what's happening. Daniel was like, well, that's bullshit. It's like, okay, Daniel. Up to you. But we were commenting on it. Funny stuff. It was fun. That's
the thing. Some people, to be honest, enjoy the chat just to try and like troll a little bit, and that's fine because as long as you're not calling people like really offensive terms and whatnot,
just
have fun.
You fucking biscuit eating fuckways.
I mean, I don't know what you say in your mirror in the morning, but
I say exactly that. You biscuit eating motherfucker. So I'm going for a run in the evenings now. That's what it's all down to. It's all down to me calling myself a you biscuit eating motherfucker. You know, go harvest those yams and go for a run. And so you still don't really know who's.
For me,
it's just too
if
even.
I had to pick someone, I would say currently the Blues.
Okay.
Reason I say that is they are the only side who didn't concede a try in their quarterfinal. Plus, though, we've got a few problems with number 7s at the moment in New Zealand. Dalton Papali'i having keyhole surgery for his appendix, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, not up the arse.
No, not up the
That's
arse.
not what that means.
No.
Okay.
So it's pretty much like through the belly button.
Yeah, okay.
Camera and...
Yeah.
He'll
be out for the fucking rest of the year.
Or not quite, but
appendix?
I know he's...
Is that a burst appendix?
Maybe.
Or did he get hit in the tackle too hard?
Oh, it was one of them, but he's...
Fuck, that's violent, man. I was thinking like a sore ankle or something. No, he's ripping him up and fucking fixing his appendix. Shit.
Yeah, so he's out for the Irish tour, possibly.
Yeah.
And then also Ethan Blackadder might have a broken wrist or something along those lines after the Crusaders game. Yep. Billy Harmon got knocked unconscious, so he's another number 7.
Okay.
We've already got a couple other number 7s who look like they're getting a little bit worse for wear. So it could be the case of Artie Savi has to transfer back to 7 for the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Because or else then you're looking at... I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing one of those young guys.
Yeah.
Such as... You know, maybe you see Tom Christie sneak his way into the All Blacks. Tackler machine from Crusaders. You love him because he's Crusaders.
No, not necessarily.
Well, you love the Crusaders.
Yeah, but I also don't want guys in the All Blacks squad that don't deserve to be there.
Would you say he deserves
you need
to be
more,
there?
I haven't really seen enough of him to say. I'm mainly focused on the back line, you know.
You're one of those.
Fiji and wingers, I quite like those guys. You know,
yeah, we'll sign a couple more for the All Blacks soon. You know.
Keep them in the squad for 2 years and then move on. They can go to France and live that life.
It's a good life as well.
Yeah, but then you think Blues.
Mm-hmm.
But then you think Crusaders, because the Crusaders have to play against the Blues. Well, considering... Who do you want the final to be against?
At the moment, it's setting up for a Blues vs Crusaders final.
I want that.
That's what everyone wants.
The Blues vs Crusaders final, because the Blues and Crusaders... For a long time, the Blues have never showed up. For a long time, for a lot of years, ever since I've watched Super Rugby, you know, I've never seen a strong Blues side. Well, apart from this year and last year. But for a long time, when I watched the Blues, they were always shit. Like, they'd lose games before. They were the equivalent to the New Zealand Warriors in Super Rugby. And I always think that a strong Blues side, and rugby union in Auckland is really good for New Zealand rugby, because it competes against the Canterbury thing. You know what I mean? All the high schools in Canterbury producing All Blacks, they don't get any competition. But then if the Auckland schools and the Auckland academies and everything are all performing really well, that makes the Cantabrians go, we've got to sort this out. So that forces them to really focus on producing better players for high school, for the Bunnings NPC sides. Bunnings ITM Mitre 10, who was it this year?
Yeah, I think it's Bunnings again. They're just
they're just advertisement sluts, really.
We should add, we should make our own hardware store. Sponsor the competition. Kiwi Lads NPC.
Imagine how bad that would be.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great, would it?
Us owning a hardware store. See, I'm here to How do I build a building? Oh, get a hammer and some nails and just do it, mate. Don't talk to me about it. Oh, damn it, that'll be about $55, thank you. Just that advice. Got any wood? Oh, Sam, cut down the trees yet, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, they're shipping all the logs overseas. Timber shortage at the moment. For building department.
Yeah.
You know, chipboard's worth an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Better than Coke.
You know, there'll be guys who'ring out on jet boats into the ocean in the middle of the night to get that more than there are meth. You know? You know how they deal meth? They eat boats and they drive them out to the ocean. This time they're just dealing jib. Illegally into New Zealand.
That dust, that powder.
Yeah.
You know? Snort that shit like a fine wine.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it'll be a Crusaders Blues final?
If it's not, I think it's going to be maybe Crusaders Brumbies, which would be kind of cool.
So you're not
as well.
thinking that the Crusaders are going to lose this weekend? You're not thinking...
I mean, the Chiefs are a tough side to predict because they just came from nowhere to somewhere type thing. Similar to what the Waratahs did this year.
But
how they were a terrible side last year.
Me as a Crusaders supporter, though...
You're always going to back your boys.
No, yes, but this is not spelling good for the Crusaders.
Oh, so you're saying Chiefs?
If there is a side to knock the Crusaders out in a semi-final, it's going to be the Chiefs. They always fucking do it. They honestly, before Scott Robinson came along under the Blackadder years, I think it was twice in a row where we got taken out of the Super Rugby comp by the Chiefs. And then we had the Auckland Nines? No, what was the Brisbane Tens. We got knocked out of them by the Chiefs. I don't know how many years in a row. 3 years in a row. The Chiefs would beat us in the quarters, semis. We didn't make it to the final for a long time because of the Chiefs. 2011 we lost to the Reds. 2015 we lost to the Waratahs in the final. I'm pretty sure in 2015 and 16. I can't quite remember. Between 2011 and 2015, we got knocked out by them once, and then in 2016, 2012 and 2013 were both years that we lost to the Chiefs in the finals.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. No, but then in 2000, I'm just trying to remember what the bloody hell happened that year. Man, we were so shit. Bloody Todd Blackadder.
Some extra trauma on the brain, isn't there?
It's honestly, the 2015 World Cup against the Waratahs still makes me tremble. So, because it's just such bullshit, you know, because they didn't lose that game. The ref gave the fucking Waratahs a penalty call and said, here's a kick. They kicked it and won the game, and then came back to Richie McCaw years later, the next season, and said, yeah, man, we fucked that up. We shouldn't have said what we said. You guys had the game. That was the wrong call. There's much use to us now, is it? You fucking dick.
Yeah.
So Richie should have just knocked him out right there and then. Just fuck you.
I don't think Richie's that kind of guy, though, is he?
No.
He would have taken him up in the helicopter, given him a nice wee tour, and then pushed him off the side.
Yeah. James Bond style, kind
Yeah.
of rich man style, you know, or throwing him out of his private.
What do you think? This is quite dark, but what do you think Richie McCaw's line would be before he pushes him off?
He's quite a quiet guy.
Yeah, but he's got some good.
He's not like a loud, brash talking guy.
No.
He's like a sort of, I don't know. It'd be kind of like, he wouldn't be cocky.
No.
He would be very subtle. Just like this.
He'd have one that you got to think about as you're plummeting to your death. Like, oh, that was quite a good play on words, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I don't know what he would say. He would have a smile. This is a great guy.
Yeah.
And he would just say, you didn't make the team. And I don't know if he'd say anything. I think he'd just pay someone else to do it.
Yeah. Smart. You know?
Yeah.
No blood on his hands.
No.
Only just greatness, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, no. I partied with his cousin this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't want to say his name, but he came out with us to Queenstown.
He does. He went hard?
He drives trucks in Oamaru.
Ah.
Don't know how closely related his name he is. He is a McCaw, though.
Ooh.
And he's Richie's cousin. And we were in the All Black store in New Zealand in Queenstown.
Yeah.
We brought this little rugby ball, and then when I came out, I was like, "Oh, you own that, don't you?" And he goes, "No." I'm like, "You own like a 90% share of New Zealand rugby, your fam." He's like, "No, we don't. We don't." I was like, "You should just take it." And he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" He's like, "Shut the fuck up! We don't own shit." Okay, he didn't give me any money. I was like, "Okay, calm down, yeah."
Bit of a soft spot, was it?
Yeah, I just keep looking at him. You should just take shit, bro. Just take stuff. He's like, "Go away!" No, I'm just joking. He was the same as Richie, though.
Really?
He just talks uniquely. You know what I mean? He just said things in a great way.
Did he say credit to the boys after the big night?
He was one of the guys that will definitely say that. He just, yeah, I don't know.
Someone just goes, "How was the night?" "Oh, credit to the boys. You know, they really carried us throughout that last 2 hours. You know,
Yeah.
old mate was shit faced down the block.
Yeah, so
He's still all right. Whoa, are you on the cord?
yeah, it must be.
Careful now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Crusaders. So you thinking the Crusaders can knock out the Blues in the final?
Don't know. It's that
It's
even
going to be a
park,
hell of
isn't
a
it?
final. But what I was saying though, so the Crusaders obviously went through many years where they didn't do well. Coach was pretty shit. But everyone, even my mum, I always used to say, "Oh, the Blues are shit." Mum would go, "You know, back in the day, it was always the Blues that would beat the Crusaders. It was that Auckland-Canterbury rivalry that made Super Rugby. Huge fucking games, man, these two had. They were like David. It was like when you were in history and your teacher's telling you of this huge battle that took place that changed the course of history. Those were the Crusaders versus Blues games."
I feel like I could just imagine you with your red and black face paint, just running around the lounge going, Crusaders, and your mum's like, "Yeah, George, come have a seat.
Kiddo.
I'm going to tell you all about how the Crusaders were once shit."
Well, no, hold up, you little shit.
Is that what you
They
said to your
weren't
mum?
shit. They were one of the, you prick, you twist this round. They were the two top teams, and there would always be a final between the Blues and the Crusaders. Okay? We did this live stream the other day. Mm-hmm. The Blues, for the first few years of rugby, were like, for the first 2 or 3, they won them in a row.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Crusaders came out on top and won like 4 or 5. This is when the Blues started to fall down.
And when the refs started getting paid, yeah.
Yeah, must have been something going on, man, because they were shit for so many years. Okay? But what was interesting was, until now, we've never seen that until now, where the Blues are finally turning up consistently. I remember there were a lot of years, 2011, okay, I remember there were a lot of years where they would win a few games in a row and everyone's like, "This is it, wrap her up, boys, with the season's ass," just like the, this is it, wrap it up, boys.
It sounded a little bit too close to something.
But everyone would be like, "This is it, man, like they're gonna win. The season's theirs," and then they would just lose 60-0, 70-0, you know.
Because that was slightly why I didn't kind of count out the Highlanders until we saw how they played.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like a very, like, in the nicest way possible, it's a very Blues thing to do.
Yeah.
To get a 13-match winning streak and then lose in the quarterfinal.
Yeah. But it's interesting how the Highlanders and the Blues have kind of swapped places. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
How
Well,
Otago
the Blues
has-
have got depth for days at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, they're bringing up those youngsters as well.
It's very interesting. Often it occurs when something isn't happening at the right grassroots. Otago is very well known for producing some seriously good rugby players. Like, that is a breeding ground for rugby. Southland and Otago, that is rugby. Spates is based there, I think. Hamilton, I don't think. I'll just have to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spates is based in Otago or something. Dunedin has got Spates. Maybe in Otago, not entirely sure. In fact, comment me. Comment on that one, guys. Where do you think Spates is based? But like everyone, you go to Dunedin game and all the uni students are wearing Spates. Yeah, they're all wearing Spates in Dunedin, and it's like a, you know, you go to Otago Boys High School. They're one of the best teams in South Island. They often beat Canterbury high schools and Waikato high schools. Those guys have been to South Africa and they've beaten some of the big high schools. But something's happening where I see a lot of guys coming from Southland going to Auckland. A lot of guys leaving Otago, Dunedin, going to Auckland for the Bunnings NPC and then playing for the Blues.
Yeah.
And I feel like something's going on there because they do have the produced talent, but then they lose the talent and they leave. They walk away.
They walk away, yep. Hop on the plane.
Yeah, go for the big city, Auckland. Dunedin is a bit of a show, though.
Yeah, I would leave there.
I'm not a big fan of Dunedin.
Oh, I don't mind it, though. Like, depending on what you're doing in Dunedin, I feel like it's got its perks, but it's also, like, just cold.
Yeah, it's just cold, and it's the same way. I don't like Oamaru.
No.
It's just always overcast. But it's like, it's great when you're a uni student, because you go down and you party, and it's got that whole uni vibe. But, like, my sister lives there, and when you go there, and you're older than all the university students... and you're involved with people who aren't at uni anymore. You're not around the university area. You're up on the hill, and it's just stay home after stay home after stay home. You know, run down communities, and I just get I don't know. I just don't like Dunedin. It's just not. I like Christchurch because I really like Hagley Park, and that's about it. I've never really been anywhere else but there. Been in Invercargill a few times. That's quite a cool city, Invercargill.
See, some people say that like Invercargill, it's all right, but then Gore, you don't want to go to Gore.
Gore's actually not that bloody bad. Okay?
I know it gets a bad rap, but
but the thing is with Gore is that like we go down there for the South Island Field Days, and it's right outside Gore. It's got a bad rap because of what it used to be, but now they've done a lot of stuff up, like new cafes, new restaurants. It's nice and in Waimatty.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's about the same as Timaru now. Like, it's got a K-fry. It's very important. It's very important for KFC. But, yeah, so back to the Super Rugby. So this is the first time I've ever actually seen a side. Not in New Zealand. There's always been a side in New Zealand that's competitive with the Crusaders.
Yeah.
I've always thought if anyone's going to knock us out, it's going to be a New Zealand side. But there's always been that thing that says, who's it going to be? For a long time, it was the Hurricanes and Chiefs. And then mostly slightly towards Chiefs. But this year, there's that part in the Crusaders fan that will say, oh, I don't know if I've got this, man. The Blues are playing pretty good. But it's that old Canterbury Auckland rivalry that I'm excited to see. And I want to see a final between the Crusaders and the Blues. So the Crusaders are taking on the Chiefs. But this is the issue. The Chiefs always turn up against the Crusaders and they knock us out. Not all the time. Like, obviously, last year I think we knocked them out.
Yeah, Super Rugby Aotearoa final.
I can never quite remember who it has always been years before that in terms of semi-finals and quarterfinals. Under Scott Robinson's era.
He has only had one time that he hasn't made it to a final.
Yeah, I know.
Which is insane.
What when was that?
Super Rugby Trans Tasman recently. The one that Crusaders fans called not even a competition.
Well, it wasn't. Come on. Oh, you want to talk about this, do you? Want a rant? It wasn't a competition.
It's 5 matches, mate.
Who won that?
The Blues.
But then any other team in New Zealand can say the same thing. The only reason the Blues won is because they never actually took on a New Zealand side. None of them did. They just took on the Australians, who at the time were pretty shit.
Why didn't you beat them by more then?
Oh, who knows? Bonus points doesn't mean by beating them by more, though.
Points differential.
No. That's the thing, though. Like, if you had a round where the New Zealanders took on each other, it could have been completely different. You know, I still think a New Zealand side would have won, but it could have easily been the Crusaders, man. It could have very easily been the Crusaders. Or the Chiefs, easily. But so they didn't do that, and we've not won other competitions. Like, first year Scott Robinson was coach, we didn't win the Brisbane Tens. We got knocked out by the Chiefs. Scott Robinson's got a fucking good record, man. Holy shit, he's got a good record as a coach. The only side that he hasn't actually fully taken is the New Zealand under-20 side. Apart from that, he's coached Canterbury to 4 or 5 titles. I don't know how many exactly he's coached them to, but a lot of titles in the Bunnies. He also coached What other sides has he coached? He also did take an under-20 side to a title. But then one season, the World Cup, he didn't win it. And then one year he did win it. And then he had the Crusaders, which has won 3 titles. 4th coming this year.
You mean coming this year?
Well, if he wins it this year, it'll be their 4th title in a row. Which, by the way, we were on the live stream the other day when we put up that list of all the times that this will be the most amount of titles I've won in a row ever. They've never won more than 3.
And this will be their 10th in total.
Yeah. And this is another thing I was going to talk to you about was, do you think the Crusaders being so good ruins the comp or makes it better?
I know that a lot of people have gotten sick of them being at the top.
Yeah.
Because they want something fresh.
Yeah. That's why
new.
I'm so excited for this Blues game, though, because it's actually a side that can push them. You know what I mean? It's actually I don't even know. The only thing that will annoy me a little bit if the Crusaders don't win the title is that they didn't get their 4. But apart from that, I'm like, it'll be great for Auckland Rugby. Really good for Auckland Rugby because they finally won a title. After many years of just being dog shit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. My arm is completely numb.
Why are you sitting on it?
I don't know. It's just I thought this was how I should be, but now I can't feel it. So I thought I'd better tell you before it completely falls off. May I
sit like this?
May I adjust?
Yeah, go on. Put it down, point it down. Because that's how you get the blood back, flowing back down, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Oh.
You got it pointing up.
Yeah.
Point it down, like me. Look, because how's that going to work? Hamish, your blood comes from your heart. It's going to go up and then come back down.
Yeah, it can go
Have
up.
you ever heard of a thing called pressure? You need pressure.
Something.
No, you sit it. Go.
Hands might be purple.
Where's your heart? Where is there or there? There.
What do you do when you're not? God save her.
God save the Queen.
Queen's birthday today. We
Yeah.
should mention happy birthday.
I saw a clip of her on Facebook. She was a hologram inside of a cart being pushed by horses. She wasn't the real queen. She was a hologram. That's something that the Buckingham... I think... some people's going to go, that's bullshit, George. You're lying again. The Buckingham Palace tried... They had a hologram. She wasn't fit. She wasn't keen to go for a ride in a cart. So they put a hologram of her while she was at the palace, and they parked up, and she was already there. And they're like, what the fuck? What's happening here? She was standing there waving at herself in the hologram. She was like, damn, I've had a few coffees today.
Yeah, 96 now or something, I believe.
Yeah, she's getting on there.
But she's still doing
She's
well.
still battling away.
Like, that's the thing. Like, people say that stress can make you,
She does fuck
Take-
all, though.
she does a lot, you know.
I reckon we should send her to Putin's office.
But yeah, she's doing all right overall, the old queen,
Yeah.
isn't she?
When do you reckon she's going to cark it?
I think she's got a good few years left.
You
in her still.
reckon?
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Some people, they say that the more you keep your brain busy when you get older,
Oh, yeah.
it's like the better it actually is for you.
They always say about how when you go into an old person's home, that's when you die. Because you're just sitting there doing nothing. Sent my old man, my old granddad, into an old person's home not long ago. He didn't want to go, but
No, because you just lose that sense of freedom.
yeah.
Like,
No.
it's understandable why you go in there, but it's also like
That's
similar
sort
to
of,
a prison.
It's sad though, isn't it? Because you're sort of sending them there to die.
Yeah.
Because, you're sort of saying, you're never going home. This is the last chapter. You will sit in this room in your wheelchair or on your bed until you literally die. And I know it's depressing.
That got real deep
But
real
get
quick.
them out, kick the ball around a bit, you know what I mean?
We should start rugby for the elderly.
Imagine us doing that. Brian, you need to move forwards when you got the ball.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? You're going to walk. Just walk. When we were up in Queenstown at the luge, we hopped off the gondola. And there was this old guy trying to get into a gondola. He had a wheelchair, so we walked past. Me being me, I was like, just fucking walk. And then all the guys heard me, and they started fucking laughing. And then I think the people behind me were like, what are they laughing at? I think someone heard me. Just fucking walk.
So you didn't think, oh, we could give him a hand?
No, he had a whole group of people around him helping him out, but I'm just a smart ass and I just make stupid comments.
So speaking of that, we might as well transition. Queenstown piss up weekend, eh?
We're not finished talking about rugby? Yeah, okay.
I
So
felt like that was a perfect transition, wasn't it?
yeah. So I went to Queenstown for a piss up. I had a mate come from the North Island. I had such and such come from Oamaru, such and such come from Ashburton, and then me, my brother, and Daniel. Daniel came with us. You guys will only know Daniel from the one video we filmed 2 years ago. He's only ever been on one video, hasn't he?
Two. It got split into two parts. I'm surprised you got so many friends called Such.
No, I don't want to mention their names.
I know that. Fuck me.
Fuck my. That's letting you know.
It's all good. Look.
Yeah, so such and such and such and such and such. Yeah, so they all came together. We all come together in this time. La, 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 I don't know the words.
I don't even know what song you're going for.
I don't actually think that's the song. It's just me making one up.
Oh, good.
Damn, that's a leg and a half in there.
Make
Yeah,
sure
so-
your ball's not hanging out.
You guys want to see a boss? Yeah, so we went to Queenstown for a drinking correlation, which means we're getting fucking rinsed, mate. In Queenstown, you know. So yeah, so we played at we stayed at a Novotel hotel. Rhymes, isn't it?
A Nove Hotel.
And we had a bloody great time. We went luging on Saturday, and then we went and got Devil Burger, which is an awesome place. And then we just started drinking alcohol. I just farted.
Wasn't it?
I just farted, guys.
That one go.
Yeah, and so you had great stories from drinking alcohol in Queenstown. I threw chicken at someone.
Why would you do that?
So we were so the way it was going was the issue was in Queenstown. You have to queue up for so long for a drink. You sober up, right? And it's a stressful thing because you don't want to sober up. Then you get tired and you just want to go to bed, right? So you got to stay drunk. You know what I mean?
Strategy.
So the hotel was pretty damn close to the city centre. It's just on the other side. So 2 or 3 times we'd run back to the hotel, skull full drinks, and then walk back into the town centre. There were 2 clubs, Cowboys and Winnies. And by the way, to the 2 owners of these clubs, you're doing fine. just want to sponsor you. It's just, you know.
Wait, we're sponsoring them.
Yeah, I know,
they
but
wanna
I just
sponsor-
want some bloody money.
They gotta
I want
sponsor
money.
us.
I want money.
We're not going to put
Yeah.
our logo in there, joint, are we?
No. We could. Yes. Check out the Kiwilads podcast. Yeah, so there's 2 clubs, Winnies and Cowboys. Cowboys wasn't really a club, it was more of a bar. Winnies was a club. Quite sad. The last 2 proper nightclubs left in Queenstown. There were 4. 2 of them have closed down because of COVID.
What were
It's
their
quite
names?
sad. I don't know the names. One had a big Flash remix name, but I remember that had strobe lights. It was like, whoa! And then, I don't know the other one, it was like Vortex Bar or something. And it was a bar / nightclub. But it was quite sad because there's a lot of bars in Queenstown that have flashlights and stuff, but they shut down around midnight. And Winnies and Cowboys were the only ones staying up. So we went to both of these places. We got rinsed at Cowboys, and then we tried to get into Winnies, and that didn't work. So with me and my brother Daniel and this other guy, we went to a hot dog stand and we gave him absolute hell. I don't say we abused him. We abused people. I say we talk to people in a loud form.
Okay.
Because it's just, I don't know why. It's just, everyone else goes on a night out, has a few drinks, chats shit in a bar, and goes home. Me and my brother and Daniel, we always go out to the street and we just do stupid shit. I threw 2 cones into Lake Wanaka. To Lake Wakatipu, not Lake Wanaka. 2 cones. I also threw chicken at someone, and I dropped half a hot dog on the ground. And I just generally yelled at a lot of people.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should clarify that cone story was completely false, just in case any authorities are watching.
No.
No?
No, who cares?
Okay.
No, I threw a cone into the lake.
And then you went and retrieved it.
Thomas did take his pants off and was going to go in there, but then he said no, so we just went to bed. So they weren't there the next morning though. So someone must have gone in there and gotten it. But yeah, so we went to the strip club twice in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel didn't come. He was like, "No, I've got a girlfriend. I am too mature." Went to the strip club twice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's basically it. And I was thinking I want Hamish to come next time.
Did you see your cousin?
Where would I see my cousin Hamish?
In the strip club.
No, she doesn't work there anymore.
Does she?
No, well, no, she doesn't work there anymore, or if she's just not on that night. But that's a little story. I had a cousin that went to Otago University. She obviously, most uni students either get a sugar daddy or they become a stripper. When, they do their history degrees. She, obviously, things didn't really work out, and she ended up working at the Dunedin Strippers, and then she moved to Queenstown to go to the Queenstown Strippers. I only know this because I follow her on Instagram, and I look at her stories, and then it shows, like, she's one of these people that uploads a lot of stories a lot. So I was sort of thinking all night, when the strippers were coming out of their little holes, where they get changed and they get ready, and I'm like, oh, no.
Army crawl out of the little tiny door that they give them.
Just, I'm ready. Imagine you being the manager of a strip club having to tell the girls, now when you're ready, this is the hole you're going to come out of, okay, girls?
It used to be a cat door, but the cat died.
Yeah, this used to be a great place for the cats. So you're going to crawl out of there onto the stage, okay? You got that, girls? But, yeah, so every single time a new girl would come out to do a dance, I was like, oh, shit, it's going to be here. Oh, no. No, it wasn't, so it was all good. It was all good.
Or else that would have been awkward, wouldn't it?
Because I got out some stripper cash. So the way it works
What
is...
is stripper cash?
You go to the bar and you spend $50 and they give you these notes.
Okay.
Those are the notes that you give to the strippers. So that's $50 equivalent in stripper cash.
So what's the exchange rate?
Well, I don't know why they do it, because when one of the girls did come up to us, and they always come around to all the people who sort of sit around where they dance, and they go, "Oh, you got any tips?" You put it in the arsehole. I'm just joking. You give the tip to them because you watched it. She did say, "Oh, cash is welcome as well if we don't have any, stripper cash." But I think that's because they're badly needing tips for the economic situation. But I don't know why they have stripper cash. Why is it that you give them your money for more forms of money to give to them?
I guess it depends on, so if I gave you 50 of my dollars and said, give me some stripper cash, how much stripper cash would I get for myself?
The exact same.
So
it's $50 of my money was $50 for the strippers.
One note? Or
$5 a note.
Okay, so little mini notes. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense. So that
I
you can,
think the
make
reason why is so... Oh, no, but that doesn't add up. I was going to say, because the girls will be on a payroll by the club. And I was thinking that will be why, because they don't want to get extra cash, and then because tax doesn't work with cash.
No.
I don't actually know. Is it legal to pay people with cash for an appointment?
It's a grey area.
Because how do stores and that do it when they get given cash?
They have to pay the tax on it afterwards. Whereas, that's why some builders... Not my dad. Of course, he always talks about the other ones who do little cash jobs because then you don't have to pay tax on it theoretically, but you should. My mum's an accountant, so she busts his balls about the tax. You know what I'm saying?
No, she probably goes, "We just need a few more."
I had to pay tax. Bloody
Everyone
YouTube.
has to pay fucking tax, Hamish.
Yeah,
don't act like it's bad.
I pay
I had to pay tax. Of course you do.
Yeah, I pay YouTube my bloody percentages and all sorts as well. Bloody.
Did you ever figure out if YouTube pays a tax when they work in New Zealand?
Nah, so I just paid. I think I've paid double tax. I paid tax twice, but that's all right.
Yeah.
End of the day, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So back to the stripper cash.
Yeah, I think it must be down to something like they don't want to earn cash, they show the club how much they made, and then they get paid that, I guess.
Because I guess it's also like you don't know where that money's been.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like someone might have rubbed their balls on it a little bit and been like, here's some money. I don't know.
Is that what you would do?
No.
Rub your balls on some cash and give it to a stripper?
Yeah. You know. Like, oi. My ball touched that.
Rub my ass with that one there, girl.
Yeah, but like, I always found it weird. Like, the idea of like having to go around afterwards. Like, you know how like it's a Sunday church thing. How you go around with the basket like, anyone want to donate?
Well,
like, you do this.
The first time I went, they didn't go. So you have all the seats that are right next to where they dance.
The arm was no.
Okay. So you have all the seats that are. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just trying to film a podcast here.
Yeah, this is good. I'm just adjusting stuff, mate.
So you have all the seats that are right next to where they dance, and then you have the seats further back. We were in one of the further back ones. You don't have to give them tips. It's extra. But when no one else in our group got out stripper cash. I went to the first strip club, and it's different. They don't have a dance area, and if they did have one, there was no one on it, which I thought was weird. It was like going to a bar, and they were like waitresses that you can then ask for like a private dance. That must be how they're making most of their money, through private dances instead of dancing out the front of the store or whatever it is.
Just out on the road with the sign. Come in here, we got our tits out.
But so the second one was done like that, where every half hour a new girl would come out and do a dance routine, and but I went into
like on a pole?
Yeah, on a pole, and they also had a loop. What's a hula hoop hanging? That was pretty cool. Actually, seeing them do
a lot of like. That's the thing. And strippers get a bad rap, right? But they're actually skilled operators.
Yeah. So this is what I was. So I went in there, and all my mates are like, "No, I'm not paying them anything. Unless I get a lap dance, I'm not paying anything." And I'm like, "Well, there's no one sitting up front, so they have to figure out how to make an extra income. They're not on huge wages. I'll be honest, strippers probably make the most of their money through the tips. Because when you see some of the lap dancers or some of the dancers, guys will hand out $5, they can make $100 an hour, right? And they do 2 or 3 dances a night, $200 or $300 a night extra on top of what they get paid. So it's interesting because I got there and there was no one sitting there. And they come out, and it's like watching a musician perform, but with no audience. And you think he's gone to so much effort to get ready and learn how to do that properly. So they always come.
I'm just imagining a guy walking out onto the stage doing a helicopter, and you go, class.
What the fuck? So anyway, I was like, no, I'll get out $50, and if they come and ask for it, I'll give them some tips. And I was perfectly happy because I thought no one else really is helping them out. And and I gave them tips, and they'd come along and they bend over and they let you put it in their G-string. And I was like, okay, cool. And I never got a private dance because it cost like $300 to get a boner and blue balls.
That would be what our strip club's called.
Well, that's what all strip clubs are.
Boner and blue balls.
Would they give you a lap dance? No sex. That's what I would hate about it. I just want to make love to them afterwards,
You just want to cuddle, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just like, come here, just give me a cuddle.
Give me a cuddle, hun, over here. Yeah, so there isn't actually a lot to do at a strip club. It's not like a normal club where you can dance. You actually have to just sit down and chat to each other and watch. Unless you get a private dance. There's not actually a lot to do.
Yeah.
You can play pool, you can go to the toilet and take a shit if you want, but you're not allowed your phone out. That's a big no-no. Daniel got caught. His phone was out. He was just checking the time, and I
thought Daniel wasn't with you.
Daniela, this other person we met.
Daniela. Good save.
Yeah, he got caught with his phone out, and he got told to put it away. You're not allowed your phones out at all, which is interesting because I checked mine. I was like, oh yeah, cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's an interesting experience, but girls walking around with their tits out and
like properly out, or like little tassels on them.
Out.
Oh,
Yeah, and some of them didn't have knickers on either, so you can see their vagina.
Be a bit cold, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're probably well. No, inside it's quite warm, but
Yeah, but
no, there's
even
one. There's
so,
there's
like-
one girl I fell in love with. Yeah,
yeah,
usually when I go to strip club, I fall in love with at least one of them.
yeah. At least one of them.
One of them.
One of them plus one, you know.
Yeah, I fell in love with one of them, and she had huge tits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't my cousin. So,
I was lucky, eh?
thank God, don't want any of that incest now going on, do we?
No.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, and then when we left the strip club, we obviously went out to Queenstown, we caused carnage. One of the things of us is when we leave the nightclub, that's when the rowdy shit starts. Because, you know, with Thomas is running up and down the street pushing bins over, and then I buy some chicken and a hot dog, and I'm offering my chicken to people, and they don't want it, so I throw it at them. It's just absolute carnage. Like, great time, though. Yeah, so...
10 out of 10 would do again.
Yeah, I'll do it this weekend.
Fair enough, yeah. Nice.
So we've got that other thing to talk about too.
The other thing.
Your girlfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
So while I'm up partying up in Queenstown, Hamish is back here in Waimo.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hamish has been in a relationship for Thursday, Friday,
5
Saturday.
days.
5. You've
My
been counting.
longest relationship. No.
Well, you had a girlfriend in primary school, didn't you? You were a bloody player in in primary school, weren't you?
Mm.
You had like 2 or 3 girls chasing you, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah. Then our high school happened, and yeah, they all left.
Yeah. So I'm not allowed to say her name, am I?
No, we're keeping it on the down low. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a game of give the audience? I already know who this girl is, by the way, guys. I already know who she is. I've met her before, but I'm not allowed to say her name. I'm not allowed to... So how have you been doing? Have you know, like your relationship? Did you wake up one morning and go fuck?
No, it's been good. You know, we probably, the good news is she is also, like, she won't mind me saying this, she is also a bit weird. Like, so
bit weird.
it works well.
Bit weird.
Because, like, I can be
You're
weird.
fucking weird, though.
Yeah, like, I can be fucking weird, and she will also be fucking weird, and then it's all good. You know? Like, we did a flag quiz the other night, and, like, the countries of the world, we're trying to get every single country, but we only got about 135, which was a bit disappointing.
Flag quiz. Am I allowed to mention where she is based?
Nah, probably
okay. You guys will know. You won't know, but
No.
you should know this isn't. She's not in New Zealand.
Isn't
So,
she?
No, this
Where'd
is
she go?
an overseas-based thing.
Yeah, but
She's
that,
in Australia. No, I don't care.
I just say she doesn't live in Waimate. That's the best way of saying it.
She doesn't live in a local hometown of Waimate, so it is. Most would say a long distance, but whoever the fuck knows what you want me to say.
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
So you only talk to each other on Discord or FaceTime, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you talk to each other for hours on end.
We have, yes. One day we did about 12 hours. And then other days we've been slacking a bit, only like 6.
But I was thinking, I said this to you the other day. I reckon you're a less famous version of Pete Davidson.
I guess so, yeah.
I think you are. You know why girls love Pete Davidson?
Why? Cheers. So what you're saying, in summary, is you have no idea how this has happened.
No, but this is the thing. Pete Davidson, he's tall, lanky, he's pale as fuck, tattoos, he's a goofball, not in shape at all. He's got mild depression, probably got a bit of anxiety. His dad died when he was younger. Just catch with me here, okay?
Okay.
He's like this person that girls love. Kim Kardashian, Ariana Grande, I can't remember their names, but 3 or 4 extremely sexy actresses and singers have all fucked that boy. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything. He's funny. He's a comedian. Everybody has asked, why Pete Davidson? Like Kim Kardashian does, you know, NBA basketball players. The whole Kardashian love their basketball players. They love their football players. They love intense, active guys. Pete Davidson smokes weed, he drinks, he's a comedian, and he sits on the couch eating chips when he's not doing that.
I can do that.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You are like Pete Davidson, and I think as you go on in life, if you ever break up with this one, you're going to find another one that's even hotter. You just will. I just feel like you are the type of guy that girls go, it's fucking interesting. I reckon I'll love you. We're going to take you to the strip club.
I mean, I'll probably have to get permission first, of course. Because, I do have a lot of stripper cash. Because I used to... Have I told you the story about in primary school how I traded everyone's good behaviour dollars because I was giving them rugby cards?
Yeah.
I was pretty much a drug dealer. But I was trading rugby cards and I got all the cash from the whole class pretty much.
Stripper cash.
Well, it was our equivalent of stripper cash as much as you can have in primary school.
I was going to say, are they handing out stripper cash in primary school?
And
hey kids, got some stripper cash here for you. Take it or leave it, eh?
I cashed in for 12 bars of chocolate at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And most anyone else had was 2.
Yeah, no, I've seen something. I remember you guys did that in your class. We never did it in ours. You get started off with a paperclip, don't you?
Oh, we're talking about that one as well. Yeah, we had that
Isn't
at
that
high
how?
school,
You were saying you were just hustling on your own, but you even play that game where you start off with a paperclip and you got to trade that for something else.
Yeah.
How does that start? Does everyone get given a different thing at the start?
Well, they'd probably get a different coloured paperclip, but everyone starts with the paperclip because it's all about that story of the guy who then trade, and got a house.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting.
I know that it's been done so many times now. I remember you go from a paperclip to a pen.
Yeah.
And then I don't think many people got higher than a pen.
Yeah.
Because
so no one purchased the teacher's computer or anything?
No.
What about the teacher? Could you purchase her or trade with her?
Maybe.
I would have tried.
Yeah, a couple of those teachers you had quite the thing for, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I had a big thing for one or two of them, but might slow on their DMs when I get famous, eh?
Maybe. And when they get divorced.
Yeah, no, I'd still do it. Yeah, so Queenstown, Hamish has got a girlfriend. You also had a story about your cat.
I did. So, pretty much, my mum and dad, they went away for the weekend, played some golf and whatnot, so I was left at home.
Okay.
Seemed ideal. Do enjoy being at home. Don't leave the place. And then the thing is, there's a catch-22, and that is the cat. Because he is quite a needy boy at this stage.
Does he know you got a girlfriend?
I think so. He's seen her a few times.
Is he?
Every once in a while, off the camera, after we finish chatting on Discord, he goes good job.
Does he?
Yeah, he just gives me a little nod. Yeah. He's like, good job.
Cats can't talk though, so.
No. He goes,
good job.
He does click though, doesn't he? Okay, you've heard him. He goes,
you cat's a funny guy.
He is. He's got good character.
Yeah.
But pretty much, so me and him just chilling. The routine is I go to bed at some ridiculous hour because I'm up all night either chatting or editing, whatnot. And then we go to bed. He comes and sits on me, as the cat does.
Yeah.
And then, so I wake up to this meow, 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 meow.
Yeah.
Meow. So kind of he gets quite aggressive with it. And I thought, he's just lost. That's the first reaction. He's always lost.
Yeah.
So he climbs up and he goes under the kind of a curtain up to the window. I'm like, he's just doing what he does.
Yeah.
Just wants a bit of attention. He'll be back soon.
Yeah.
And then I hear the sound of the kind of plastic wrapping going. And I was like, okay, interesting. And then I was like, I might as well let him out. I'm up now. I've woken up. And then I look down and he's shat on some plastic. He's taken a dump next to the bed on this plastic wrapping.
Does he sleep in your room?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, right, okay.
But I just looked down and he knew he had done wrong. He kind of looked up as if to say, shit. That wasn't me, but just know it wasn't on purpose. I just really needed to go.
Yeah.
It's all good. Just don't kick me outside, please. It's cold. So then I went, okay, what's done is done. The shit's already on the floor.
Okay.
But luckily he had he tried to he was trying to use the plastic. You know how cats
Yeah.
bury the shit. Like he was trying to use
He's trying to fucking solve his problems.
Little did he realise that the plastic was see-through, so I was thinking anyway. But, you know, that's...
Was he successful at putting the plastic on?
He struggled.
Oh,
He struggled big time.
thing.
I think he was panicking. He was like, oh, shit.
It's like when you
He's waking up.
It's when you accidentally like do something like a catch fire, something on fire. And you're like, oh shit, put it out, put it out.
So he did that, and then I picked up the plastic, luckily, because it was all like, he's got a decent diet, so it was all relatively solid, you know. Sorry for the in-depth detail, but then I went to the door, take him outside, or like, not really take him outside, just ask him, do you want to go outside for a bit? And he kind of went, I probably should, because I just shat inside.
That's usually when I decide to go out to the toilet.
And the problem was,
I've shat inside.
I was holding it in two hands, right, the plastic, because it's quite a big bit of plastic. And then to get the door open, of course.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to squeeze it. Like, put it together like you would a sheet. Squeeze it.
Oh,
go like that. And then as I'm opening the door, drop one half. And the shit fell on the floor. And I thought, so close. You know, we almost avoided any shit on the carpet.
Yeah.
But luckily, like I mentioned, solid enough.
Yeah.
Get some tissues and whatnot and pick up the shit, put it in the bin, go back inside, wash my hands and go back to bed. And just forget about it.
Yeah.
And he came back to bed with me as if to say, yep, sorry about that. We'll just act like that never happened.
Yeah.
You know, when you accidentally, like, you do something that you shouldn't have done.
You poo yourself.
Yeah. And, like, your friend also sees you do it and you guys kind of just have that, like, we're all good, aren't we? You're not going to go tell all my friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Billy shat on the floor. First time he's done it in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last time I remember was when we were doing renovations and he took a piss in my parents' bedroom on a piece of wood. But I think
sometimes I think they do it just to really say something about you.
Well, I think he was doing it because he really needed a piss.
Yeah, well, no, I was thinking sometimes, because it's like with our dogs. I've got two dogs that sleep inside, live inside. And they often go years without shitting inside. And the other day I was at the top of the stairs, and we have this little area that kind of goes off to your left or right. And it's got like photos and stuff, and you often can't see into the corner because it's dark. And I went in there to actually get something off the shelf, and I stood on dog shit.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like...
Barefooted?
No. I actually had boots on. So I just came up inside, zipped upstairs to get something from my room. I was like, what the fuck is that? And it was dog shit. And I was like, fuck, these little shits are smart. They knew. Like, this is like something out of... You know that, shit, these little fuckers are smart.
I'm just thinking of you being like, that's a fucking good spot.
I might do a shit there. No, but you ever seen that game, Ghost Recon? Tom Clancy. You know how in the game, you drag dead bodies into a dark corner? That's what they did. They took a shit in a dark corner. And it consistently stayed dark for probably a week. These things were like little rocks before I found them. Till I stood on it and went everywhere.
Splattered.
I was like, these little shits are smart. They didn't just do it in the middle of a hallway. They went into a dark little corner where no one really goes and took a shit. For a week, they got away with it. So I scoop it up with this thing that we use to clean out the fire. For brushing with a plate, and then and I take it down, and Mum's in her room, she's reading a book, and the two little dogs are sitting next to her on the bed, having the afternoon nap. And I go, what the fuck is this? And the dogs just go, oh, shit.
He's found it.
Yeah, he's found my shit. And Mum's like, what is it? I'm like, dog shit up at the top of the stairs. And I watched her, and she goes, oh, I wonder what one that was. And you can see the one little dog, Maggie goes... She starts looking away. She's like, it wasn't me! It wasn't me! She starts looking away, and I was like, she's guilty. So then I took the plate, and I showed her the plate. I was like, is this your shit, Maggie? And she wouldn't look at the shit. She would not look at the shit. She just went... You push it closer to her face. Is this yours? Huh? Is this yours? And then the other little dog's like, I'm not listening. No, because the other dog's got quite bad anxiety. And she starts shaking. She's just sitting there going, I'm just like, is this your shit? And it's like, no. It's just these two dogs having a fucking freaking the fuck out. I'm just pointing them with the shit going, is this your shit? Or is this your shit? Whose shit? And the dogs are just going, yeah! One of them scooted off to the left outside, and then Mum was sitting there, Mum's going, I'm trying to read my fucking book! Get out of my room! I'm like, is this your shit, Mum? And she's like, no! Get out! Fuck, now I lost the fucking page! Oh, fuck you, George.
Yeah. Fuck you, George, finding my secret shit.
I've been shitting there for the last 12 years! There's a real pile up here. But, yeah. Also, another thing. Up at the top of the stairs, there's this little area to put your luggage, like bags and stuff.
You've got like a chute, don't you?
Yeah, it's fucking weird. When we were little kids, we went in there all the time. When we used to play hide and seek, it's like this little compartment. It felt huge. Like, it felt like the same size as this room. I went in there after I discovered the shit. Went back up there, looked around, turned the light on, couldn't find any. But I looked inside this room for some weird reason, and it was like tiny, and I hopped up in there. And it's got, like, the bottom of it is like plywood. And I put my knee down and it put a hole. But this is above, so you can't see it from the floor. Yeah. Because there's layers below it. So I put a hole in it. I was like, fuck, this is weird. Like, when I was a little kid, we could fit like 5 of us in here. We actually put a mattress in there one day and slept there for the night. In this little hut. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so.
We used to have a hut in the bush. You know, like along that side before we got that fence, like you'd literally have like a carved out section in the bush.
I love huts. Like huts that are made out of things that shouldn't, you know, blankets. We used to get chairs and build like a massive hut in the lounge, put blankets over it and then put beds inside the hut and then would like watch TV and stuff in the hut and get popcorn and biscuits and stuff, you know.
Yeah. So I guess, do you want to tell them about the idea that you had for a main channel video?
What one was it?
To do with the huts. You wanted to turn my lounge into a
hut, didn't you? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, alright, wasn't it? It's like when you wanted to play hide and seek with those 2 microphones that are attached to each other. The 3-meter cord.
Fuck you! Alright?
No, you have some good ideas though.
I'm still really keen to try them. Because, you know, I was thinking about this. I was like, I'd love to film content. Like, I've never watched any other type of content. I've always watched vloggers, Mr. Beast, Airac, TGF, Sidemen. Yeah. I've always watched those sorts of guys. It's always been my dream to film content like them. You know, fun shit outside. You know what I mean? But I'm like, nah, at this stage, it takes too long to organise, too much money. I haven't got time. Like, all these other YouTubers that do them are like, I did it every day for 20 hours a day. I'm like, I have a fucking job. I don't have time to spend 6 days a week, you know, all the weeks of the year trying to film content outside of you jumping out of the top of a tree and into a meat grinder. Like,
is that another one, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's good. You know what I mean? I was just like, I love to film content like that. And, you know, who knows what will happen down the line with the Kiwi lads, but I'd love to do that sort of thing, you know, out and about, travelling around, like challenges like, you know, Sidemen do, or things like what Mr. Beast does, or cool stunts like TGF, or how many times can you roll a car? Can you make a car into a boat, float it down a creek? You know, you know what I mean? Just not hugely dangerous things.
Oh, no.
No, not at all. But no. Or putting a couch on skis and going down the ski field. Having a way to stop, obviously, like, something on the side to pull and sort of digs into the snow, but that would be so much fucking fun. Or putting a couch on like some wakeboards.
Oh yeah.
And then towing that behind a boat. Fuck, that would be fun. Can you swim?
Yeah, I'm alright at swimming.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll find out.
Can you swim?
Yeah, I'm a water baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Born
What? Born in a bath?
Yeah.
What, of water?
Yeah.
How? What?
Babies can be born underwater. And fun fact, babies actually can breathe
What are
underwater.
they, Navy SEALs? They can't breathe under.
They can, but it's as soon as you bring them up out of the water that, like, they realise, hang on, I can't anymore. Like, that's the thing. Babies can actually, like, chill out under... That's why...
Navy SEALs.
Like, that's why a woman can give birth in a tub. And that
Why would you not drain the fucking tub? Why would you not drain the tub?
What, before giving birth?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nicer, you know?
What the fuck are you doing? If I was a doctor and I tuned up to a pregnancy
This
situation...
is a normal thing.
If I tuned up to a pregnancy situation and she said she was in the bath, I'd drain the tub. Yeah.
Look it up.
Okay,
Look it up.
I will.
But, yeah, it's actually a normal thing. Definitely, I think it's America, they do have it a bit more, how literally a baby can be born underwater.
Can babies, or do babies get born in baths? Because you're saying, do babies get
I know
born
that they've probably, I think it's called a birthing pool or something like that.
with hair, with eyebrows, with teeth?
That's a good question. Do they have eyebrows when they're born?
I don't actually know. I don't think they do. My one came out with a moustache. I saw one come out with a
I
moustache.
was going to say,
How do babies get...
got a kid?
Do babies get born in bathtubs? Bath.
I feel like the wording's a bit off there, but we'll allow it.
Doctors say don't give birth to a baby in a tub. Yep, but midwives disagree. Shots Health News, woman can give birth. Shots Health News, women can give birth in water at a growing number of hospitals, but the nation's pediatricians, and obstetricians say there's not enough proof that it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Can babies... Oh, yeah. It says here, this swift movement, during a water birth, a baby is usually brought quickly to the surface head first. This swift movement will enable them to start breathing as soon as possible. There's a risk that the umbilical may snap. A snapped umbilical cord can be life-threatening as the fetus can bleed freely until it is stopped.
Nice.
Fetus.
You like that word, do you?
Yeah, fetus.
Do you ever eat a fetus?
No.
What's the one that the woman eat? The placenta. Nice bit of placenta. You know, with some bacon. A little bit of sizzle.
I'm talking divorce. I'm not doing this shit. I have a new crush.
Yeah.
A female actress.
Female actress? Who is it?
Charlize Theron. Is that how you pronounce her?
Ah, okay.
I have a crush on this woman.
Right.
I've had a crush on Margot Robbie for a long time. Yeah, I saw a TikTok clip of her. She's just good looking.
Quite a older woman.
I don't have an issue with older women.
No, neither.
When we were in Queenstown, there were these group of ladies, I won't say girls, ladies, they were probably in their 50s. I had the hots for one of them. Not the greatest looking girl, but she had an amazing body. She had kept herself in shape. She was really nice. Her husband was there. He's an ex-All Black.
Is he?
He's played 2 free tests for the All Blacks, and then he went to Japan. He did like a whole heap for Otago or something. He only has one eye.
Okay.
He tuned up. She told me about him, and I was dancing with her for a while. You know, jiggy with it. You know, let's get jiggy with it, but you know. And there were like 4 of these girls, and one of them was way younger. She was a major MILF. Okay. I farted again.
You did. I feel it.
But
every
yeah,
time.
no. Okay, should we stop the podcast? It's been going
we
for
gotta do
1
it.
hour, 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck, mate.
It's a fucking long podcast.
It is, but it's good.
Cheers, G.
Cheers for watching.
Yeah.
Nah,
Cheers
that's not it.
Cheers
we
for
do it?
watching, guys.
No,
Shut the
we-
fuck up.
Keep on going. But I guess on that note, really,
Yeah.
Charlie, if you're watching this,
Who's
wants
Charlie?
one of you.
Oh, Charlie. It's not Char. Is it Charlie? Charlize. It's
a bit fancy, isn't it?
It's
Like when you want to call your kid Charlie,
is it
but
Charlie or Charlize?
Charlie's
Yeah.
Charlie's Navidad.
But yeah, Charlize Theron.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, I don't know if I'm saying your name, but you're really good looking, and I have a crush on you.
Yeah. So if you're watching, which of course she will be,
She will be. She should be.
sure to hit our boy George up.
And the DMs, please. It's just easier that way. Thank you.
Thank you. But nonetheless, I guess that's going to be the end
Yeah.
of the first Kiwi Lads podcast. This went by very quick.
I think it's a lot like, it's not the same when you're listening to them. Yeah, Joe Rogan is 3 hour long. And it's from lunchtime to afternoon smoko. You get a whole episode and it feels like 10 minutes. It's insane.
Yeah, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you do have anything you want us to talk about, be sure to put it in the comments.
Put your predictions as to who you think will win Super Rugby in the comments. It should come out before the semis. I have time in the evenings to edit it. The only issue I have is the uploading. It could take me 4 hours to upload.
You'll probably have to come around here, to be honest.
Yeah, or maybe the house up on the corner of our farm. But apart from that, I might have to come around here. Because it is 1.5 hours long. Yeah, so put your predictions as to who you think will win Super Rugby this year. By how much. And give it a like. And have a wank. It's not hard to do. Cheers for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you all later.
Yeah.